spooky noise, and we made a spooky face, and then we ran inside.
Top 5 spooky series to watch right now. I hope you're ready to watch spooky stuff. So honorary mention will have to be Squid Games. And you already know the entire plot of that whole series. I won't get too much into it if you haven't watched it. I know I was kind of reluctant to watch it, but I was convinced that it was a good idea to watch. So then I ended up watching it, and I was surprised that I actually really liked it. So if you did already watch it, I would recommend that you go and rewatch it and look at all of those small little details that you might have missed the first time around. You might be surprised what you find in there. I did hear about it being rejected several times before it finally was accepted and ended up being one of the biggest series in history. And I think I heard somewhere that they have an alarm clock of the doll that is in the first episode, and apparently she like shoots little balls at you for you to wake up, so there's that. Okay, so now for the top 5 list. I'm gonna start off with one that I actually really ended up liking, especially the series, well, not the series, the season finale, sorry. The season finale, because it was just so surprising, but I do wish to see a season 2 just because of that finale, just because of the finale. But anyway, the reason why it's at number 5 is because it is an older show, and I do think that people need to watch it because it's a little different from what you might expect from your typical series like this. And it's Daybreak. Now, the reason why I like Daybreak is because it's a zombie apocalypse, and I love zombie apocalypse series. Not only that, but it is kind of a very youthful, very new perspective from what we're used to. So I think that's one of the other things that I really like about it. And it's kind of a Mad Max meets Stranger Things kind of vibe. So for that reason alone, I really like it. It also has kind of a Zombieland feel, actually. If you're really into that, you're gonna like this series for sure. The number 4 spooky series. And this one I actually like because it's so short and it's an animated series. So I ended up really liking this animated series just because it was so elusive. But the number 4 show is going to be the Kirlian Frequency. Now, something really interesting about this one is that if you know Spanish, it's an actually originally Spanish-made series. And it's quite intriguing in Spanish. So if you know Spanish, you know, watch it in Spanish because it's you know, it's a little different. And if you're into that, like kind of like the Guillermo del Toro movie, which is Pan's Labyrinth, that one is originally in Spanish too. So a lot of people don't know that, but when you watch those in its original language, they just carry a different energy. So I would watch it in Spanish if you can, but if you can't, that's fine. Don't worry, you can still watch it in English and you will really like it. It's very elusive, it's very mysterious, and the whole time you're kind of wondering what in the hell are they talking about, because you really don't know. So you'll be pulled in. It's very intriguing, it piques your interest. So if you're into that kind of mystery type of animated series, I think you'll really like this one. It's time for number 3. We're getting a little closer. So number 3 is the Fear Street series. If you haven't seen this, it's on Netflix. By the way, all of these are on Netflix, so if I haven't said that, they're all on Netflix. But the Fear Street series, it's a 3-part series, and it's kind of like 3 movies, but it's not because it's a series. So it's 1994, 1978, and 1966. No, is it? Okay, so sorry. It's 1666, not 1966. So this one has a kind of like a Stranger Things vibe too, which I'm not surprised. So many series are so heavily inspired by Stranger Things now that it's not a big deal or even a surprise. It's kind of like a staple now for a lot of series. But, you know, I like it. I like how a lot of those things are incorporated into things like Riverdale. They're all doing a little bit of that. So it doesn't really surprise me, honestly, and it doesn't really bother me. Some people are like, oh, well, you know, why is everybody trying to do that? Even in Lock and Key, they do a little bit of that. So yeah, it doesn't really surprise me. But Fear Street kind of has a AHS 1984, that season. It kind of reminds me a lot of the 1984 season for AHS, with a little bit of Super 8, obviously, because that's the originator of the whole Stranger Things vibe. And of course, Stranger Things. So if you're into that, I think you'll really like it. The 1666, the last one, really surprised me. That one I wasn't expecting, and I really didn't know quite where they were going with it. It was kind of eye-opening because you don't really think about what people in 1666 would have dealt with or what their problems might have been like, but that kind of gives you a little bit of insight into what that might have been like. So it was a little bit surprising, but it was interesting at the same time. The number 2, which I am surprised to say, I am legitimately surprised to say this because I didn't expect this of myself, but honestly, it's been kind of weird for me lately with this series. And you know that if you know me, then you know that I love AHS, or American Horror Story. For those of you that don't know, American Horror Story, I love it. I love what they do. I think it's amazing. Ryan Murphy is a genius. With that said, I'm gonna say this. The last few seasons have been very confusing for me, just because I feel like we really experienced a loss when we lost Jessica Lange. So, and then Lady Gaga didn't come back, and she was amazing. So then we just had to rely on Sarah Paulson, and Sarah Paulson is amazing. I mean, she's amazing. And now I understand that she is a producer on the show. I loved the work that she did on the last couple seasons. Season 10 definitely went back into that very classic American Horror Story feel. Very dark, very just somber, very raw, just very offensive. And I like that it was so offensive because it's, again, about the horrors people will commit. So in this particular season, it tells us about, you know, people's glamour and ego and the lengths that they're willing to go to attain that one thing. So yeah, I think that's pretty crazy. I do know that season 10 was based on Cape Cod and is a double feature. So you start watching it, but it does kind of get a little confusing later because of the double feature factor. So if you don't know about that, it kind of catches you off guard, but if you do know, then you're expecting it. So if you do go watch it, definitely expect that it's going to be a little bit of a twist there. For the Halloween spooky season, I've been really into the whole alien thing. So I think that if you're into that, then you're going to appreciate American Horror Story Season 10. So now for the number 1 top series to watch right now. For me, anyway. This one surprised the hell out of me too, because I really didn't expect this one at all. Like, at all. But I always found myself going back to this series because I just didn't know what to expect next. And I really liked that about it. So I was always like, you know what, let me just put this on because I don't know what the hell they're gonna say or what they're gonna do next. And I really liked it for 2 reasons. So the main actress I was very impressed by because I didn't know it at first, but when I first started watching it, I thought it was a new actress. And I was like, who is this actress? Which plays Lisa Nova. She's actually the one that had her breakthrough role with Alita. So if you watch Alita Battle Angel, she's the one who's the main character. So she plays Lisa Nova, and I didn't know that. And she also is in American Horror Story Murder House. So apparently she has some kind of, you know, she obviously likes like the CGI cyborg thing, and she likes, you know, horror and spooky. Well, her actual name is Rosa Salazar, so she plays Lisa Nova in Brand New Cherry Flavor. Rosa Salazar really surprised me with her role. Wasn't expecting that from her, and I thought that she was really cool because she was just so carefree and like so, you know, unbothered with all of this crazy stuff going on with her. So it's very unexpected, this series, and I really love it for that reason. It's just not what you're expecting at all, and the characters are well developed as well, and especially Lisa. Lisa is very just fearless, and I think that's one of the things that I really like about that character in the series. In the midst of all of the crazy, weird, creepy stuff that's going on, she's just like, whatever. You really like this one. I think it's very much like a book or a novel. So if you're into books and novels, this series is for you. So that about wraps up our top 5 for spooky series, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. And please do make any suggestions to me. I'm always looking for stuff to watch, new stuff to watch, and I'm always also looking for snack suggestions too. I'm not even gonna lie. You have to have good snacks all the time for watching seasons and series and movies like that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. Happy Halloween. Bye.